249-1461 for all of your music needs. Customized playlists in MP3 formats saved on multiple devices, whether it be USB, SD, or CD. Call to order today, 213-249-1461. Tell them D-Night sent you from the Gospel Jazz Connection, Melvin Music. Enjoy it.
This is the rope out here on the microphone. Messing up is Frank McCone on the drums. Now come on, give me some. Drink the cereal milk, I'm feeling so dumb now. Baby doll, give you a hunch, I might just go munch on your cereal crunch now. Baby doll, I'm rolling with the troops. I have to say goodbye when you give me the Fruit Loops now. I never will settle, she got the Fruity Pebbles, ooh. I'm gonna just go on down, and baby doll, I'm about to go downtown, cause she, ooh, looking like a beautiful silk. Now baby doll, I'm drinking all of your cereal milk, now ooh, head down like silk. But baby doll, I'm drinking all of your cereal milk, now head down like silk. But baby doll, I'm drinking all of your cereal milk. Your cereal milk, your cereal milk. Oh baby doll, I'm drinking all your cereal milk.
This brings me closer. It feels good to love you yes. Is there any doubt in your mind? Oh yeah, oh baby, oh baby, I'm so don't leave.
Welcome to another installation of the Gospel Jazz Connection here on KTYM.media. We got a house full of beautiful ladies. Guys, you just don't even know what we got going on up in here. It's a party. It's a beautiful day. It's a Friday, right? And we just have a good time. Germany's back from the East Coast, rolling it, doing it. She's been awarded as the first sister with this journalistic award. She'll talk about it a little bit for herself, and we're just going to brag on her today. Got two other ladies here in the house that's just full of it. You could just see the effervescence flowing in here today. We got Miss M in the corner. She likes sitting in the corner. I don't know why she likes benching herself, you know what I'm saying? So I wonder if she hasn't turned her head against the wall. You know like they do it, you turn your head against the wall, so you bench yourself. Timeout, she calls it timeout. All right, anyway. I am D-Nice. This is the Gospel Jazz Connection, and what we do each and every week is we bring you topics, issues, and a smooth panel from smooth women who give you their interpretation. You put it in your style at the end of the day, and you make it work for you. Okay? Believe me, you're going to walk away from here with something that's going to work for you. And then in the background, you can tell I love my smooth jazz. And that's what we got playing. It soothes the savage beast, especially Friday out there in L.A. Everybody trying to run over each other, road rage. We're not having it. Here on the Gospel Jazz Connection, we're just going to sit back for the next 60 minutes and watch with your ears.
Sway tonight.
Nothing like smooth jazz to take you into a beautiful, sunny, sun-filled Friday evening drive time. Okay, this is the Gospel Jazz Connection. I am D-Nice, and I'm getting ready to introduce the players. On my left, this young lady has been a part of the scene, the business scene, the educational scene, the teaching scene, for a long time. We all know and love her. This is a lady that is a motivational speaker. She's a corporate trainer. She's come from the business world. She's written numerous best-selling books. She's got so much more to write. And as you see today, she'll just kind of like spread it out for you. You could see that vision being birthed more and more and more. She's a mother. She's a grandmother. She's a woman of God, most foremost. And she is our partner here on the Gospel Jazz Connection. Help me welcome Linda Coleman Willis. Linda, welcome to the show.
Thank you, D. Yay! Thank you. It is Friday.
Yes.
It's been a tough week, a full week, but look, I'm here.
Good.
I am full. I am forward. I want to share what I have to share with our listening audience. I motivate and inspire every chance I get, but I also need at times to be motivated and inspired. And I think that's part of why I like what I do so much.
Right.
Is because no matter how low I get, there's always someone out there that's lower that we need to pick them up. And in picking them up, we can pick ourselves up. So I'm excited about the topic that we have tonight to talk about how something changed our lives and how we can change someone else's life.
Yeah.
We can use that same lesson that we've learned to help someone else.
That's true.
So I'm excited about that.
Well, thanks for showing up, and we're going to show out.
Okay.
This next young lady that we're bringing into the picture right now has been a part of our team for around a couple of months, Linda brought her in to do one of the television shows she does, Millennial Journals, and talking to this young lady. And I was very impressed when I saw this young lady. When I heard this young lady, she carries herself way, way, way beyond her age. She is truly the legacy for the future. She is truly that dynasty, that legacy in training. And we're glad to have her here today. She is a recording artist. Now she's a signed recording artist. And so she brings to us a unique voice, a unique look, a unique flavor. But most of all, she brings that effervescent smile that lights up a room when she walks through the door. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about the one, the only Von True. How you doing, young lady? How you doing?
Amazing.
All
How
right.
are you?
Good, good. I can't complain. We're live, right?
Hello?
Okay. There you go. That's what it's all about, huh? So you had a good week so far?
Yes, it's been a great week.
Good, good, good. And we saw you on Wednesday. You did the television show.
Yes.
The new video show. in fact.
Yes, so much fun.
Good, good, good.
So much fun. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. And in this corner, we have a young lady that, you know what, I can sometimes say supersedes herself. Because when I first ran into this lady a couple of years ago, it just was the way that she floated through the room. And she just was on it. She just lit up the place. And me and Linda were doing an opening for a friend of hers that was starting a boutique. Shout out to Bougie Girls.
Bougie Girls.
Long Beach.
Yes, indeed.
Long Beach.
In LBC. And so when we get a chance to find people that just kind of like walk in a room and it's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And you get the chance to talk with them and you just feel the spirit just emulating, then you know you're in the right place. And this lady is a talk show host. She's created her own projects, programs. She's working on some projects we're getting ready to set up with her. She's been in the field for a while. This young lady has written books, and she's got some more books in her too, still to come.
Thank you.
She has been a part of so many things to help the homeless. That's one of the missions that she has. She'll tell us a little bit more about that. Her and her family love working with what we call indigent, the forgotten few, but they're not really forgotten. And thank you for showing us that they're not forgotten. She is a wife, a mother, with 3 beautiful kids that she just beams whenever she talks about the kids. You can tell. And I met Sean, the oldest, and he's just, I'm telling you, this is another one of those brainiacs on the roll. I look forward to him doing SpaceX Part 12. One of them kind of just, yeah, he's just so full of making it money and making it happen. And I'm looking at him like, man, research and development, that's him right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hear about her journey to Washington, D.C., where she set a legacy. She set a milestone for black women in journalism. Help me welcome Miss Germany. Germany, thanks for joining.
Thank you. And I'm clapping because I want to give God all the glory, all the praise, and I just want to thank you for speaking over my child. As you were sitting there saying that, I was like, okay, God, thank you for divine connections, because that's really so important. And until we realize that as a group of people, we will never be able to advance. But I just love the way that you have embraced me, and also you've embraced my family, and they are a significant part of who I am. Yes, we are connected, and those babies are my joy. And so it's like I wouldn't have anything that I have without being their mom, because I know how to balance. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to God for allowing me to have a balance, because there was a time when I didn't know how to say no. And so my kids have actually allowed me to graduate to a place where I know what the boundaries are. And it's with them. It's with being their mom. It's with being that vessel. Because when you talk about charity and the homelessness, my grandmother always said something, and I speak of this lady often because she had such an impact on me. She said charity begins at home. So I can't go out to Skid Row or to anywhere and feed the homeless or work with anybody with literacy programs or anything until I'm able to utilize my skills and talents at my own house first. God says you have to get your house in order.
Right.
And so that's the most important thing, just to make sure that you're starting with those that are closest to you
Right.
first and then branch out. So with that said, I just want to real quick just thank all the supporters and everybody for all the love for my trip to Washington.
Wow.
I want to say thank you to the Society of Professional Journalists for honoring me with such a prestigious award, allowing me to be able to just show my craft in front of so many people, other outlets that were there, from Fortune to NBC to CBS to PBS NewsHour to the LA Times, you name it. There were so many prominent news outlets in the house, and there I was. And I know God is the one that allowed me to be there, and I have to give him all the glory and all the praise. And along the way, he made it possible where I blazed a trail and became the first African American woman to ever win for online Deadline independent reporting. So that is something that I am just thankful about. I didn't even know that, and it's like, oh, okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, God. So let's just blaze new trails from here on.
Amen.
I love it.
Yes.
And the-
Yes.
Yep. And the Bible tells me
Blazing new
he,
trails.
he inhabits the praises of his people.
That's right.
So that's all he wants to do is we just got to give him praise. And the more we praise him, you know what I'm saying, the more he gives us blessings and wherewithal to praise him on. So that's a good thing. Okay, I can't wait to get to the subject right now. It's getting ready to be good up in here. I told you you're in for a good one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the subject for today is golden nuggets, which we will call experiences. And there are times when we have our own experiences, and there's times when we have people that we've watched go through different experiences. And some of them were so catastrophic that we don't want no part of it. We learn from their mistakes, right? So it's good to be able to say, okay, I don't need to have that. I don't need to have that on my team. Got to turn that off for a second. The air conditioning was just getting a little too good for everybody. Okay, we're going to get hot up in here in a minute. But we're going to find out through your experiences in a series of events that you've seen from other people and gone through, how it impacted and changed your look on life, your life, and how it helped you develop into a testimony to help somebody else. Those are those golden nuggets and how to pass them on. So with that being said, we're going to switch over here right quick, and we're going to start with Linda Coleman Willis.
Dee, there's something that I often open my speaking engagements with. When you get what you want in your struggle for self, and the world makes you queen or king for a day, just go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that person has to say. What I've learned is that we so often we go through life looking for validation from other people. We're looking for someone else to tell us what we should do or even what we can't do. Sometimes we allow people to stop us, but it's that person in the mirror. And as I'm standing before sometimes thousands of people in my audience, I realize that I'm just a vessel. That if they really believe in themselves or learn to believe in themselves and that higher power, but I can bring a message. And what I love about bringing a message to people is sometimes it opens them up for possibilities that they have never thought about. And for me, that is where it started. My profession in real estate required that I'm working 7 days a week just out there burning. And I met a speaker who I was in his audience, and he was probably talking to thousands of people, but he was talking to me. He was speaking directly to me. He spoke to my mind, my heart, my spirit. And after that event, I ran up to him and I said, how do I do what you do? I love what you just said.
Right.
I'm inspired and motivated. And he looked me in my eye and he said, why should I work with you? And I thought, oh, wow. But you know what I did? He gave me his card, and I went home, and I thought about that question. He had a reason, a good reason for asking me that question. The woman in the mirror, remember? It wasn't about him. I picked up the phone and I called him, and I gave him the 3 best reasons I thought that he should work with me. And he said, I'll be in LA next week. I want to meet with you. Now, I could have taken what he said and went home and just kind of let it go, right? But that was a good question. Why should he work with me? He was at the top of his game. I was just trying to start.
Right.
And I'm sure, and he ended up writing the forward to my first book, being my first guest on my radio station, calling on me when he took a tour of speakers to Jamaica and some other places, and just became an intricate part of my life. Why? Because I took the first initiative. He sparked something in me, but it was already there. It had to already be there. But I took the necessary steps. So the big thing I want people to know, that when you want something and you really want it, take the necessary action. You can't wait on someone to do it for you. Even the people I inspire, and they come up and they talk to me afterwards. I always try to challenge them with a question. I try to lead them with the question to make them think about their own value. And his name was Les Brown, Leslie Calvin Brown, okay? Les Brown, the motivator. Changed my career because I left real estate after a few years, well, finance really, and I wanted to do the same thing he was doing. I wanted to change people's lives, and I just really think about how that affected me that day, that one day, where I could have taken that card and not called him. And then after I called him, I could have not followed through on the things that he suggested I do. That's powerful for me.
Wow.
And I use all of that in my own training to people. I never overlook people who are looking for help. But a lot of times if you just give it to them, then they don't know how to use it, or they don't appreciate it, or they don't know how to take the steps.
Right.
But if you can challenge them and help them believe that they are better than they think they are, or even know that they are, and that there's a higher power that is really in play there.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Vaughn. I see you.
I'm just saying, absolutely. Like, that just took me, because people, unless you're pushed, sometimes a lot of us, unless we're pushed to that point, we don't really understand our true value.
Right.
And we don't really go for it. So sometimes life, the universe, God challenges us to get to
Right.
that point. And it's really necessary for us to really up-level ourselves in life and become our truest selves, our best selves.
Up level. I like that word. Up level. Yeah. Because you got to. Yeah, I like that. That's really wow. Explain that a little bit more in a situation to where it might have been something in your life that made you up level.
Coming here. Yeah, coming here. Yes, thank you, Germany.
Right.
Coming here alone has just been a blessing, a risk.
Right.
So many adjectives I can throw out there, you know? And it's just like, I just jumped up and said, I'm going to do this because I believe in myself.
Right.
And I believe in my ability, and I have great potential. So why not? You know? And I just felt it within myself. And that truly gave me some type of, I don't know, power or force that I'm just going to do it. I don't care if I got to go to Hollywood and walk in the Capitol building. Like, I'm going to figure this out. You know what I mean? I'm just not letting anything stop me. And that's really showing me my true worth, my true value, my true self, and how strong and powerful I really am.
Well, do me a favor, and let's be a little transparent right now, and I hope it's okay with you. For some of the younger ladies listening, your age?
25.
See that, ladies and gentlemen? I'm telling you, for a young lady, I told you she's well beyond her age. And so, some of the experiences that you've had so far coming to LA, speak on a few of those, because I know the typical young girl coming to LA. Where'd you come from? Back east, right?
Yeah. I come from the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Right.
You don't know, but all the way across the country. Came here by myself. Didn't know nobody, knew nothing really, and it was just like, I'm going to figure this out. Like, because this is what I feel is right for me. I have a background in fashion. I try to use that to my advantage, and I realize that for right now, it may not be the exact time that I need to be doing that. I just need to focus on what I came here to do, period, you know?
Right.
I came into maybe not some of the best, you know, people or personalities, and, you know, you get that. So I just had to overcome some hurdles and some challenges within not only within the other people and understanding how people maneuver out here, but also within myself. And, you know, just realizing how I can get around these obstacles. And I'm out here by myself. I'm just figuring it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's been quite a journey thus far. It's only been about 8 months, and I'm just excited for the future. I know it can only get better from here.
Right, and that's what we're looking for, because that coalition, that family, that unity is so key. And to be surrounded by these young ladies, I'm looking at the camera angles right now, looking at these powerful women that are surrounding you. It's like, wow, it's really good.
Yeah,
it's really a good thing, and I'm
Can I just
glad.
thank Miss Linda here? Honestly, I want to thank her so much because. Honestly, if she didn't approach, I didn't really have any, I always do things by myself. I've always been an independent person. That she just reached out to me. She's like, hey, I want you on my show. And I'm like, I love to. And it brought me more community of which I can understand myself more and grow more in this environment. So thank you.
I'm going to say something. Okay. I was at a live shooting and there were lots of people there. She stood out. So I approached you because of not only the way you carried yourself, you were smiling. When I spoke to you, you smiled, you spoke back. No one knew who I was. The person who invited me knew who I was, but I was just moving through the crowd, and Dee and I are always looking for someone, especially millennials, to be on that show or even this show, and you stood out. So let me tell you, it wasn't just me. It was about the same thing that happened with me with Les Brown.
Yes.
You took the necessary steps. I was blessed enough to step in your path, or you in my path. However you want to look at it, it was a blessing.
Thank you.
Miss Jeremy, you're just beaming over there right now.
I love stories like that. I love it because it's about reaching back, helping other people. And so when you can get this excited about helping somebody and actually not seeing that person as a threat, because she could have easily stood back and said, well, no, you know, she's smiling and, you know, I don't want to work for her because she might get more attention than me or something, because some people are just so crabs in the bucket like that.
Right.
And so I just feel like it's a great energy. And I mean, you feel it, you've said it. And it's just, I just feel it. I mean, we are dynamic up in here, not to brag, but it's like, you know, Corinne Hathorn says, you just walk right up to the front where you belong and brag on it. And so that's what we're doing right now. It's like we're bragging on the power of empowering other people, not just women, but people in general, because you're in the mix and you're a gentleman. And so you have taken the initiative to bring Linda in, bring Miss M in, you know, bring me in, bring all the people. So you are a vessel in all of that. Like, I hope you realize, I don't want to take your crown off, you know, and isolate you and make it seem like it's all about the babes, but it's not. It's about everybody helping somebody else. And one of the things that I just got so excited about was when Vaughn said she believed in herself, because that is the key thing, I think, for advancement, for nuggets, and you have to be able to choose people who choose you.
Right.
That is the most important thing that I can say to anybody that is listening right now. If someone is not for you, you don't need them.
Right.
Don't waste time trying to get them to like you, trying to manipulate people to be in your corner, to look at your demo tape, your reel, whatever. You don't need them. You just need God. You start praying and say, God, send me these divine connections. Put me in the right place, and He will do it. Corinne has another song that says, won't He do it? And she won a Billboard award for that one. But He will. He will do it. I've seen Him do it. And I can't tell you the number of times, and this is my personal story that's way to the opposite spectrum of your story, Linda, that I love about Les Brown. And I listen to Les Brown, and I have so much admiration for him because he's a go-getter. and so are you. But one of the things that I've encountered, especially since I've been in LA, is going up to people and they won't help you. And they are so close and they have their hands so tight. And it's like, I'm not going to take anything away from you if you help me. But they don't see it like that. And they don't want to help. And so I don't know where you met him, like in what environment, but I can speak to at least 4 stories right off the bat. And I don't want to call anybody's names because some of them are celebrities. But they basically just blew me off. And it's just kind of like, you have the power, though, to make it happen, like to allow me to be mentored. And that's all. I'm not looking for a paycheck or, I'm not looking for you to set me up with anybody. It's nothing like that. I'm looking for an opportunity so that I can learn and advance in my craft. And people are just so, they're like this. They don't want to do it. They're so closed-minded, and we have to be forward-thinking in our approach and just understand that we're change agents. We're thought leaders, and a part of that is understanding that your platform is set up in such a way that you're supposed to be able to link together with other people and form that chain and say, okay, let's go get them. We're a powerful force now. Let's go get them. But if we can't link up with other people, then that makes it difficult to kind of form together with power. You got to be able to have power to make things happen.
Right.
So my biggest thing, like I said, is just choose people who choose you.
Right.
That is the most important thing. Make sure that you get connected with people who are on your side, who see the value in you, who believe in you as much as you believe in yourself, because only in those environments are you going to be able to thrive.
And ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to verify and solidify what she said. Don't get it twisted. You're not for everybody, and everybody's not for you. And if it doesn't work for you, there's a time when you got to sit back and, just like the Bible said, take the dust off your shoes. You just shake it. Because believe me, if you hold on to something that doesn't want to be held, then you're going to lose that plus yourself. Because every time there's something that's moved out of your life or into your life, it affects an internal part of your life as well as an external part. And it's like the inertia. When you put a spinning top in motion, it's going to continue to be in motion unless it's stopped by an outside force. And then when you touch a top, it kind of like wobbles, and the circles start to go into a broader area versus a defined area. And that's just the law of nature, the law of averages, okay? Meaning that for every 10 people you meet, you're lucky if you find one that's going to say, okay, you know what? Let's go into this 50-50. I'm going to bring what I have to the table, and I'm going to accept you for what you bring to the table. I'm not trying to tear you down. I'm not trying to analyze you. I'm not trying to change you. Let's see what the synergy is between us. And once you find that center median, that synergy, then you got something to work from. That's a starting point. But there's some people out there that you said like they're closed fist. They don't want nothing to do with the whole situation. You can tell those people. The more astute and keen you get to knowing yourself and knowing your spirit, you'll start seeing these things. The spirit quickens spirit. And you'll start repelling those things that aren't for you. And you'll start attracting the law of attraction. You'll start attracting the things that are for you. And that's just to put God first. He'll give you the direction. Because when we accept Him and say, Lord, you know what? I'm not a Bible thumper, but I believe what I believe in my life. And let me tell you one thing. You changed my life. And so this is where I'm at. Let me work to make you pleased with my life. And the more you seek His will in your life, the more He's going to broaden your scope. And so now you're living in constant joy, because the joy of the Lord is strength. That's what it does. And then He'll find people to bring in to keep it, because He works through people. That's what He does. And so He's going to make sure that the puzzle's connected. And so I call myself a dot connector. And people are like, well, you connect a lot of dots, but what do you get out of it? Dude, for one thing, you had a line getting in my business like that. Okay. For another thing, it's not about what I'm getting out of it. Because when the dots are connected, and how do I know the dots are connected? Because the center median is they know me. And if I get along with you, I know that you're going to get along with everybody else that's inside that circumference. And if you're going to treat me one way, there's no way I'm going to let you treat the circumference any other way. And I'm going to know when it's wrong. See, there's live and there's Memorex. And so I prayed hard to find these three ladies sitting in here. And so when I know what's in my spirit to do, then I still go to Miss M, who's been the business partner, and I'll throw it up to her and let her throw it against the wall and see how she thinks about it. And she'll come back with some different highlights from a third dimension. And she'll say, here's a 3D look at this. Let's look at it from this one here. And, I've had different people on that chair. They know. We've had a lot of different people come through here. Marley Gibbs started out, and we've gone from there. We've got some major people coming through here. But look at us today. Look where we're at now. It's finite. It's kingdom building. And that's what it's all about. So, you said throwing it back. I'm throwing it back to you. Because thank you, ladies, for being obedient. Because you could talk to somebody all day long, but unless you feel it, you're not going to move.
That's right.
If you don't feel it, you're not going to play with that. And if you don't feel it, you're going to be like, I'm cool. You know how to say no. You know what I'm saying? But for everybody to come in and say, I'm loving it, flowing, and letting it flow like this, dude, we can't ask for anything better. So I look forward to continuing the conversations like this that help women grow. I'm an advocate for women. That's just what God gave me. That's just my ministry right there. Because when we first started out, I'd be places and I would see women come up and kiss each other on both sides of the film. Linda, no. And then they talk about each other as soon as they walk by. And it used to always baffle me. I'm like, I'm like, really? Did she just? And that's what they were doing. So I said, you know what? I don't need this in my life, okay? Anybody I have around me is going to be in congruency, connected with each other. Because a house divided will fall. Right. We see that in politics all day long. But it's not about politics. It's what are you doing with what you have? And that's the conversation for today, Linda. Mm-hmm. And you saw it. Now, so I appreciate you ladies bringing this out. And I'm off my soapbox. I'm throwing it back at you guys because it's a nuggets of wisdom. I just want to let you know, I thank you and I need you as much as you say you need me. Mm-hmm. And thank me. No, it's all about y'all. Monica, Miss M, appreciate you too. So, guys, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just had to feel that.
No,
I just had to get that off.
It's all good, Dee. It's all good. A couple of things. Mm-hmm. I definitely want to say to women, this young lady said that she has a lot of confidence in herself. Mm-hmm. I didn't always have confidence in myself to do the things that I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of women, men, there are a lot of people out there like that. Mm-hmm. So when you lack confidence, what do? What is it that you do? What I suggest is that you find someone who believes in you and allow them to help you along that path. Because there are some people that see you. They see your talent. They see your light. They see who you are. Now, she's right. It's not everybody. You don't believe what they say. How do you know? They don't want anything from you. They're trying to, right, that's how you know. They're not coming after you, saying, what can you do for me? Give. I have had people tell me, and she tells me all the time, you're smart. And I go, I am? You're so smart. I've worked a lot of years to get here. But to have the kind of confidence in yourself at 25 is a real big gift. I'm here to tell you, and Los Angeles will test every bit of it, just as you were saying. Mm-hmm. And I have been out here a long time, and I have reached out and helped people who got in a position and would not do the same for me. So, it's that's just the way it is. But guess what? Neither can they stop me. They can't. Right? Neither can they stop me. So okay, that's okay. That's the way you want to play that game because we're not playing the same game here. So expect that. that too. But when you find someone who believes in you, who tell you how smart you are or how talented you are, and they want nothing from you, those people will help you on that road to get to where you can believe in yourself. And when I wrote the book, Loving Yourself First, A Woman's Guide to Personal Power, it was because I was in finance trying to teach women about finance, and they wanted to talk about their personal lives and how chaotic or whatever it was, how they were in love with some man and he didn't love them or whatever. And God put that book in my spirit to write it. And who better to write it than a person in finance? I'm like, no, I don't want to write a book like that. I want to write a book. I had one of the top African American, you probably know this name, Eula McClaney, came from Alabama, barefoot, ended up living next door in Beverly Hills to Hugh Hefner. She was my guide when I was in finance, and we came up with an organization, Women for Financial Independence. And that's what I was about, trying to teach women to be financially independent. They were broken. They couldn't talk about finances. We'd get 20 women in a room and we start hearing these stories. And that led God to put in my heart to say, this is what you need to do. This is what you want to do, but this is what you need to do. This is what you want to do. These women respect you. You can tell them the truth. And that is how that book came about. So find someone who doesn't want anything from you, but they're willing to give to you, especially to your spirit.
That is so true. That is so, go ahead. Go ahead. I see feeling it.
Yeah, I just second that motion. Like
Amen, sister.
That is just,
Yes.
yeah. That, I feel like it's something to be told when someone can still give even after they have been rejected. That means that God is going to do something.
God is in the plan.
He's in the plan. Because what I heard her say was, even though they tried to stop me, I kept going.
Right.
I never quit. I never treated anybody the way that those people
That's right.
treated me.
Amen.
That's what I heard her say.
Right.
And I love that.
And I have been blessed because of it.
Yes.
And what about you, Vaughn?
I just think it's such a beautiful thing to keep that going, keep that energy going, because so like you said also, so many people will put that block up and they just be like, no, I'm good. Like, as long as you keep going with the right powerful energy that's within yourself, you got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
As these ladies are a prime example of. Like, it's amazing that I'm even sitting here. Thank you.
Girl, there's a calling on your life. There's a calling on everybody's life in this room. Everybody has a calling on their life, really. Some people just are resistant to allowing God to lead them. They want to do it their way. They keep hitting their head up against the wall, and it's like, you're not getting it. You cannot be in this world and get to where you're trying to go by yourself. You need other people. You need God.
Right.
You have to have God to be able to direct your path.
Right.
And that's why that's in the scripture, because otherwise you're going to fall on your face. You're going to, make a lot of mistakes. And there are people that have made a lot of mistakes that you can just sit back and watch them, like you were saying earlier. Who have you watched that have made a lot of mistakes? I would just dare say that there are a lot of celebrities that, sit back and look at other celebrities who, I'm just going to throw out somebody, and this doesn't mean one way or another, but I just have a lot of respect for Oprah because she's from Mississippi and she's a powerful philanthropist. But there are some people that probably question, well, she never married, she doesn't have any kids. What makes her so, where she can go and be over a school in Africa and help other women? Like, who has given her that, authority to do that? God.
Right.
I just put that out there. Sometimes you may not understand why somebody else is in a position, and the worst thing that we can do, I feel like, as people walking on this journey is look over in somebody else's yard and try to judge what God is doing for them and say, well, God, they have a husband, or they're sinning, and they still, their career is advancing. Well, you don't know he who is without sin cast the first stone. Are you so perfect that you're walking where God can just totally just reveal you in the light with all of your flaws? I'm flawed. I'm deeply flawed. And I'm just like, take me as I am. And I'm thankful that I do have a spouse that is very accommodating to my ways that may not always be pleasing. And so I think a lot of times we have to be able to, like you said, look in the mirror and see that woman or that man and try to get to know that person to work on where you're flawed, so that it'll allow you to connect better on a more intimate level with someone else. Because the worst thing in the world is for people to walk around and say and think that they're perfect. Those are the people that can't be helped, in my opinion.
Or think they need to be perfect.
Yes. There's
Before
a breakdown
this can
there.
happen.
Yeah.
God didn't ask us to be perfect.
No.
He
Come
didn't
as you
ask
are.
that of us.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, you handle the rest
We're
of it.
asking that of ourselves, and that put a lot of pressure. Yeah. So no, you're absolutely right. What I've found in my walk over these years is that I tend to attract broken people.
Wow.
I do.
That's
I tend to. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
My sister said people cling to you, but I don't do it on purpose, and I don't turn them away. I try to give them what I see that they need. If it's just pointing them in the right direction, or pointing them in a different direction, or providing some hope or some joy or something, but it has to be a God thing, because I'm not out there looking for it. It can be really a chore. It can be a huge chore, but it is something that God has placed in my life, and I have had to deal with it for a number of years. But as a result, I guarantee you, I have been blessed beyond my anything that I know that Linda could do. I know it's blessings, and the people that have come into my life, the things that have come into my life, the situations that have come into my life that I had nothing to do with, and it has just blessed me tremendously. So I think when you help people and you're doing God's work, the work that God intends for you to do, you're going to be blessed.
That's right.
And it's not necessarily money, financial blessings.
Right.
There are other types of, not that he hasn't blessed me a little bit financially too.
I got you. That's always good. That's always
That's
good.
always good. Thank you, Father.
Yes, indeed.
With all the homeless people out there, thank you, Father.
Yeah, you need
Right. That's right.
Yeah, you need to have that. Now, Vaughn, going back to you, it's just startling because you have so much control over what you're saying and the way that you are picking and choosing what you want to do for your career moving forward. And I know that you have encountered young ladies that are your age or younger that don't have the same balance that you do. So what can you tell them? What would you say to them as they try to figure it out, so to speak? You know what I'm saying? You'll never figure it out, but I know you can't say that you figured it out either.
Yeah.
But what can you tell them that helps them to slow down and not put so much pressure on themselves to try to be quote unquote perfect?
Yeah, where'd you get that confidence that you exude?
It took a long time for it to actually come about me, because my past isn't perfect, and it isn't anything that I really would wish upon anybody else. But at the same time, once you fight through the hardships and the negativity, and I was literally living a childhood where I would just be sitting there and people would mess with me because I'm just sitting there. You know what I mean? And it's like, I got it at home, I got it like at school, I got it everywhere I went, and it just brought me into myself because I didn't feel comfortable around anyone else. Like, it just brought me into myself, where I just found this oneness within, and that is just kind of what helped me survive. Within that, I found my calmness. I found stability within my emotions. I I've been able to move forward in a great way because of that. So, and it's like, I want to kind of take it back to what you said. Don't judge me by your standards, because you don't know what I'm going through, the next person going through. We're all to ourselves, you know, at the end of the day, when it comes to our flaws and our problems and everything like that, you know. So it's just, I just try to speak about it in my music and use my gifts to be the best present for anybody to go to get through whatever they're going through, to be honest.
And in music, you do write music that talks about some of the journeys you've been through. You can tell by the lyrics and whatever.
Yeah.
And that's good when you find the music that has, because a lot of music nowadays, you have a beat, but then when you take the beat out and listen to the words, you're like, really? Is that what they're trying to convey? But your music seems to personify your actual experiences.
Myself, as an artist does. It's what you perceive and how you put it out there. Everyone has a different perception.
Right.
So it's literally, it's a blessing from God that everyone has a different perception. So if we were all sitting here doing the same painting of you, all of ours would come out different. So honestly, it's just coming within yourself and pushing forward. I only write my lyrics and put it in my songs, and especially in the culture today, when it comes to hip hop, rap music, things like that, people are just like throwing things together. They're not making great sense, and if it's making sound to something, it's not really bringing you up. It's just kind of keeping it stationary, because that's what works for the system right now. Right.
Which
is an issue. We got to make that better, for sure. So I'm just trying to.
But are they listening? Do you find that they're listening? The younger people, are they listening really?
If it, you know what I found, it's kind of sad. If it has a good beat and a good rhythm to it, they're open.
Okay.
They're open to listening. Will they be consistent? We'll see.
Right. I got you.
Yeah.
So your pathway is pretty much cut out for you to define what you've been able to go through in giving your message with a good beat.
You know, and that's the wild thing about it, is that I believe I went through everything I went through, and I'm still pushing forward and putting it in my music for the next person, you know, and I love it. I just literally posted on Instagram today and said, like, this is the first song I ever written and actually put on track, and this is when I was doing it without the sake of thinking about money. I was just releasing, you know, whatever energy that was inside of me, and healing, trying to heal from it, and hoping that I can help others with doing the same thing.
And you will. You will. But yeah.
Thank you.
What's your Instagram? Tell people what's your Instagram so they can go hear it.
Thank you.
So we
my
can all go
Instagram.
hear
My Instagram is von.true. Yeah.
Von True.
Von True.
Go
Telling
check
her
it out.
truth.
Go check it out.
Well,
trying to heal.
she's got some heavy projects coming out. In fact, for Save the Date, we're going to be bringing you a mini concert in a couple of weeks. It's on the 13th of July. It's going to be right up at Dr. Maxey's facility right here on Prairie, right in the city of Inglewood here, on Prairie off of Florence here. And we've got you, we've got Makita, we've got Alice McWill, who's a great country artist, black country artist, female. And she was on Sparrow Records, and I mean, those that you know, gospel Sparrow Records, it was no joke. And we've got a couple more people coming on, so that's going to be good. So we're going to continue to do that, and we look forward to your CD coming out. Your project is on full speed ahead, ain't it?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. See you. And these are the humble beginnings that we'll be able to say yes to. You know what I'm saying? We've all had humble beginnings.
Right.
And I appreciate you ladies coming in. And you know what? Being honest, and Miss M, I think I can confer what you're saying. I like what's going on. I like what's going on here. What do you guys think? I mean, we're getting to that end, but do you guys like what you see here?
Time flies when you're having
but
fun.
do you like? I mean, how's this feel?
Right. It feels like we're just chatting it up in the living room.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was what we're trying to do, because people will listen when they think you're talking to them. If you're talking at them, they have a tendency to shut down, especially younger people. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to hear what you're saying and trying to think of what you're saying, and if it doesn't meet somewhere in the middle and make sense to them, they just shut it off. That's the young people today. They don't want to hear it. Like you said, the beat. Sometimes you got to put the beat to it. And that beat may be the way that you walk, the way that you talk, the way that you fellowship with them, the way you appreciate them, the way that you treat them. That's the beat. So old school cats, we got to get it. We got to get it together and learn how to pass it down.
Well, that's what the Millennial Journal is all about. We like to talk about the communication between the different age groups and millennials and what's important to them and how different the same statement can be to a millennial that you make to a boomer or a Gen X. And so it's really important that we do bridge that gap because not only are we missing something, they're missing something.
Right.
Yeah, so it's really important.
And learn the communication. So that was a great show. Coming out with a concept on that one there, and it's going to really do nothing but fly. You know what I'm saying? And the Millennial Journal is when? When can they see that?
The Millennial Journal is on Wednesdays on Spectrum, and once we view it on Spectrum, you can view it on YouTube. Yeah,
in AT&T Universe. So it's every
in
third
AT&T
Wednesday?
Universe
Every
second
second
Wednesday.
Wow, time flies.
Live
Very
at
fun.
5.
And then we have Von True. You're doing a music video show, right?
Yes.
Okay. What's the name of your show?
The Now video show.
Okay, and that's every.
That is every.
Fourth Wednesday?
That's
Every fourth
Wednesday of the month, yes.
Okay, fourth Wednesday of the month.
Wednesday of the month.
Great. And Miss Germany, you get ready to really mix it up. I'm looking for a monster Woman's Network show. A monster.
Okay.
And yours
from
is
your
on...
lips to God's ears.
One of those weeks. It's either on the first or the fourth Wednesday. Okay, we're gonna. Okay, so you guys, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
But see, that's what we do here each and every week, ladies and gentlemen, on Gospel Jazz Connection. We just chop it up, and I like what I see here in the studio. I like what I'm hearing. Linda, what do you think about that?
And another thing that I'm hearing from our churches is how to balance between what the millennials want and what their senior members want. So I've done a few workshops there too.
Good.
So the churches can also benefit because you can't change everything to benefit the millennial, but you can't keep everything the same to benefit the senior members. So there has to be a balance act there.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you, Von True, coming down. Now, are you going to come back and join us again? I'm putting you straight on the spot.
I see that.
Or you're always welcome.
Thank you. I'll definitely be back for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, I
And
love
like you
it.
said, it's like conversating in the living room, and people just want to hear what's real.
That's what all about. So why don't you take a minute and just wrap up what you want to tell these young ladies that are out there listening to you right now?
Push forward and stay strong, and believe in yourself.
I'm loving it.
If not anything else, believe in yourself, honey.
Well, Miss Germany.
Ditto to everything she just said.
She said ditto to what she just said. No.
And believing is transformed into loving yourself.
That's right.
Yeah. That,
And ditto to what she
yourself.
said.
So we just got that smooth balance, ditto. You know what I'm saying? Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on the Gospel Jazz Connection. That's what we do each and every week. And you know what? It's only going to get bigger and better because we have the components right now. We finally hit the mark we've been trying to do. Young ladies that are on fire, that are passionate about trying to use their experiences to help you get through your experiences. Now, you may not take it word for word. You'll put in your style and you'll put work to it. But faith without works is dead. Believe that. And each one of them told you their look, what God has done in their life, and how they've been able to persevere. But with all of them, you see passion. That's what you need. Passion. So I thank you once again for joining us on the Gospel Jazz Connection. And the music was just so soothing in the background. That's what we do each and every week. So just tell a friend. Tell a friend, because we'll be back next week trying to do it. I didn't get from you ladies, and I'm going to do it one more time. Germany, give your email address, if you will, or how they can connect with you, please.
My email address is bookkent, BOOKKENT, at germanymail.com.
Okay. Ms. Vontrue.
Oh, yes. You could go ahead and catch me on Instagram, Facebook, VON.TRUE, Vontrue.
Okay. And Ms. Linda.
Linda Speaks, SPEAKS, at AOL.com.
Beautiful. Ladies, thank you once again for showing up and showing out. And from all of us here, from Miss Lady D. Dorian, we look forward to you getting well real soon so we can hear you again. Our hearts go out to and our prayers go out to Miss Pam Broussard, who's lost her mother the other day. We got you, girl. God is good. So we're going to keep praying for you. It's going to be okay. From Miss Emma, from Miss Linda, from Miss Von True, and from Miss Germany, this is D-Nice saying, put God first and everything else will follow. I guarantee it. We'll see you next week right here on the Gospel Jazz Connection.